Should Trey Lance start week 1 no matter what? Whoever wants to start is welcome to.
I want him to start week 1, but I wouldn't say no matter what. I mean, if he goes out and he's really struggling in training camp, I don't want him to be starting if he's not, performing up to where they need him to through training camp. I don't want to see that. But my hope is that my expectation is that if you have a fair competition between him and Jimmy Garoppolo, that I think Trey Lance, by the time they get through training camp, is going to be ahead of Garoppolo and should be the starter.
Yeah, no matter what is an extremely strong take.
Yes.
But I'm along the lines with Jack, maybe even a step further. So the only way that I think Jimmy should start over Trey is if he, by leaps and bounds, outplays Trey during, the OTAs and preseason and things of that nature. If they're even or even just slightly separated, I think you have to go with Trey just because his progression is going to be more valuable to the future of the 49ers than Jimmy G's progression, right? So in my eyes, everything that's going on around Jimmy G is to prop him on a pedestal so that you could get the best trade assets out of him. But as far as who should start, I think if it's even or even just slightly separated, you got to go with Trance because his leaps are going to be much more beneficial to the 49ers than anything that happens with Jimmy G.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Trey Lance definitely has it in him to start week 1. I'm not saying he can't. From all accounts, he's off the charts both physically and mentally, and he could do it. But let's just say that he gets into OTAs and minicamp, and Kyle Shanahan determines that he's just not ready. Like, he's not even close. He hasn't played in a year. He's only played a couple of years of quarterback. It's possible that Kyle Shanahan says, he's not ready. We got to put him on a plan. We got a plan for him, and we're going to build him up slowly. It seems to me in that case, like, you got to stick to that plan and trust the process and not let Jimmy Garoppolo's injuries or performance really affect that. It seems to me like if he's your future, you got to honestly assess where he is and then put him in there when he's ready. It doesn't seem like you gain anything from putting him out there early just so he could struggle if that's what you think he's going to do. I'm not saying he would, but if that's seems to me the worst case scenario, throw him on the field, he struggles early, gets benched, Jimmy goes out there and plays better. You can't let that happen. That's all I'm saying.
I just feel like any quarterback that is coming into the situation with the 49ers is one of the best situations that you're going to have because they're going to already inherit a top 5 defense. I believe they're going to have a top 5 rushing game, and that's going to be the forefront of their offense is rushing. Whomever plays quarterback isn't going to be I guess the weight isn't going to be on their shoulders to win games with their arm. They just basically have to be a really good game manager, not turn over the ball, and just make plays when they need to make plays. But it's not going to be a lot of weight on their shoulders as far as you have to take us down the field and score a bunch of points because the run game is going to do most of the heavy lifting. In that case, I think that Trey Lance would have a hard time even struggling because there's not going to be a lot of stuff for him to do to actually like win games. It's going to be more just don't lose the game plus get those reps in. So even if Jimmy G, I don't think you're going to necessarily see this wow Jimmy G that's out there either because of the way the team is built and because of the way that they're going to be playing offense this season.
Yeah, I really think that when you watch the 2020 version of the 49ers, everything that they were asking Jimmy Garoppolo to do, Trey Lance can do. And I think the biggest issue he's going to have is learning the offense from the vocabulary standpoint, not the actual gameplay. And everything that we know about Trey Lance, we've heard about him, is that he should learn that quickly. So I think we're going to see a really strong competition.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, Trey Lance really could pull this off. I'm not saying he can't, but I was there. My first year covering the beat was 2011 with Alex Smith and Colin Kaepernick. And Colin Kaepernick was every bit as athletic as Trey Lance. And he couldn't beat out Alex Smith. I mean, Alex Smith was just a better practice quarterback, and Alex Smith was in his prime, and he knew the offense better. He knew defenses better. It just took Colin Kaepernick a while, and then they were patient with him. When he hit the field, he tore up the league. He was ready. So, I mean, if they want to do it the Walsh way or the the Harbaugh way, they might wait until he's definitely better than Jimmy Garoppolo.
Can I ask a question to Jack, if you don't mind, Grant?
Sure.
Jack, as far as like the difference between Jimmy and Trey, without using the mobility thing, is there anything that Trey does significantly better in the pocket that Kyle Shanahan could expand his offense with?
Just I mean, he's better. He's going to be able to take off and run if he needs to, but he's got a better arm. He's going to be able to throw the ball down the field better. I think he's going to be more accurate downfield on the outside of the numbers if they need to. That's the one area that Garoppolo doesn't do very well. I mean, I understand his advanced stance or whatever might show that he hits those, but the majority of the time when he's hitting those deep balls, those are on schemed up plays, right? The majority of the times when you see Garoppolo go downfield, it's because it's schemed up for him. It's not something where he's reading the defense and getting there. And I think that's something that they'd be able to unlock with Lance.
And that's the reason why I asked that question, is because I think that extra dynamic that Trey's going to bring is going to push Shanahan to maybe want to get him in as soon as possible, because that's going to be an extra amount of plays that they'd be able to run that they wouldn't be with Jimmy. And I think that's kind of what Kyle wants to start doing.
Yeah, okay. I just think if they go ahead, we'll move on.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, if they get to the end of the preseason and these guys are even, Lance should be the starter.